All right, hey, it's February 20th, 2021. We're bringing you what would normally be our weekly fishing report. Not a whole lot of fishing going on around here right now. The lake is totally frozen. Um, so instead of a fishing report, I'm just going to bring you kind of a all around lake report and then a couple things to expect, for the next couple weeks. So obviously we made a circle around the lake today. The lake is 100% still frozen. Some of the main lake areas you can see is trying to melt. There's pretty good melt going on today. Your creeks, your coves, they're locked up pretty tight. And I see that staying that way for several days. Um, Obviously, we're going to get some warm days. I think tomorrow's going to be 50 degrees. That'll really help. If we can keep the temperature up at night, that'll really help so we don't go backwards at night. You know, um, like I said, the entire lake is froze. It's been froze for several days now. Um, as far as how long it's going to take to thaw, that is, man, that's the $1,000 question right now, $1,000,000 question, really. Um, you know, I've seen it in the past. It can melt quick, really quick if we get some warm rain. Even if we was to get one of those good gully washer rains, 45, 48, 50-degree water coming in the backs of these creeks, coming down on top of the rain, that'll really help. And then, paired up with a lot of wind, if we can get some open water, it'll break that ice up and it melts off quick. Are we going to have any of that types of rains? I don't see it. Looking at the forecast, we are supposed to get some rain, which will help a lot. Um, but what we end up then is we will get areas that will thaw, and then we'll still have big sections of ice that will remain and then break loose, and then start drifting and floating out in the water. And that's obviously that can be extremely dangerous. It floats just below the surface, and you'll never see it until you see your lower unit going the opposite way when you go over top of it. So just keep that in mind when things do start thawing out. We're going to keep you up to date what's going on here. There's a lot of things coming up. A couple tournaments have been canceled already. I know there's an Anglers in Action scheduled for next Sunday, I believe it is. Personally, I don't see that one happening. We've got a Toyota Series coming up the following week. Man, that's going to be questionable. Personally, I honestly don't see it happening. It may happen. I hope it does. We all want to fish. But the lake conditions is what's going to dictate that. Are the coves going to be open? Are the launch areas going to be open? And basically, will the main lake be open? And that brings to another point. The lake has been dropping rapidly here this last week or two. And normally, like if we get down, say 655, 654 and a half, there's still several ramps we can use, but we're dropping below that right now. We're at 653.5. They said to expect it to go to 652, I believe, even 651 and a half. So when we get to that water level, there's a lot of just unknown. Even for myself, I'm here a lot. We're here full time. We see all the conditions. I've talked to a lot of people who have been around here a lot longer than I have, and just trying to figure out what ramps are still usable. So if the water does open up, man, there's a lot of ramps that are not going to be feasible as far as to use. Let's just say, for instance, Shawnee Bend ramp over here at the 12-mile marker. It's a great ramp, but at the bottom of them ramps, there's a drop off at the end of the concrete. You get what's called prop wash. A lot of big boats, when they're loading their boats, they gas it and it pushes out any rock that might be down there, and it creates a big hole and a drop off at the back of these boat ramps. So I've seen the water at 654, 655, and some of your longer trailers as they back off. Maybe pontoons or longer boats, they'll back down the end of those ramps, and their tires fall off the back of that ramp, and it lands on that trailer frame itself, and then it's tow truck time. So just keep that in mind. Some of your ramps, your more private ramps, they're going to have a lot of issues with the back of your ramp. So say way up the river, say Wigwam for instance, that's at the 66-mile marker. That's probably all mud right now as far as at the bottom of that ramp. I doubt there's any water there. There's only usually about 3-4 foot of water, maybe 5 right now, and it's 652. That lake's 8 foot low. So there's a lot of places that I want to fish, that I expect to fish this time of year, that normally I'm looking at my trolling motor and looking at my graphs, and I've got 8 foot of water. So that means I'm high and dry in a lot of spots. So just to bring everyone just to be aware of these ramps. PB2, I've got some feelers out. I've asked several people who's been around here a long time, what is the lowest lake level where we can still feasibly use PB2 safely without dropping our trailer tires off the end of that ramp. I've yet to get a real clear answer. A couple people have said 652 and a half, 653. We can probably still use it. I don't know who the first one's going to test it is, but one other little thing I've figured out throughout the years when a lake gets low is when I'm launching my boat, I'll send that trailer down on a little bit of an angle instead of going straight down that ramp. If you go on a little bit of angle, you can kind of watch your tires and your trailer, and if that one side starts to fall off, okay, you're at the end of that ramp, and you still got one tire securely up, holding that frame up off of that ramp, and you'll still be able to pull out. So it's one little deal I've kind of learned to kind of go down a little bit of angle and let those tires tell me what's going on if I'm getting to the end of that ramp or something. So even if you do fall off, a lot of times if you're on an angle, one tire hits first, and it'll help bring up that other side of that trailer instead of just dropping off at the back of that trailer, at the back of your tires. So just one little thing you might keep in mind when we do start launching. There's a lot of hazards on the lake. Normally may have 4, 5, 6 foot of water. As we're running down the lake, 8 foot low, that's high and dry. Or there might be 3, 4, maybe 6 inches of water at those particular places. So you're really going to want to look at your graphs, look at your contour lines. Most of your graphs nowadays, you can go in and program, make the adjustment for low lake level. So you can go in and hit minus 8 foot, and it'll bring you, show you where where there's no water, where normally it would be full pool. So pay attention to that. Like just a couple, for example, Davy Hollow Cove, where Lakeview Resort is. There's a long peninsula, long point goes out there. Normally you can cut through there. There are usually some no wake buoys out there, and it may be 5 foot. You can sneak over top of it. Right now, you cannot. So take a look at that. That point comes way out there. As you enter where Lodge of Four Seasons is, on the right side of the island, don't even try to go through there. On the far left side, you'll be able to go around through there. So that's one place a lot of people sometimes try to sneak through. Pay attention up in the Gravois arm. There's a couple of humps. There's one, I believe it's might be Soap Creek, but just take a look at your map. There's a couple humps that sit out in the main lake side of these creeks, and normally we can get over them. You won't be able to get over them now. And if you're, like I'm saying, what the worst case scenario is, it looks like it's open water, open lake, but there's 6 inches of water there. So a good probability of tearing up some equipment. Obviously you get up the river right now, you get up around 50-mile marker. Pay attention right before you get to Pearson. On the right, there's 3 fingers that stick way out in the lake, like midway out in the lake there. Those are going to be high and dry, or just a little bit of water over them. Looks like there's plenty of water. There's not. Don't try to cut them corners. stay in your main river channel. Just read your maps, stay in that channel. You get up there around 72 mile markers, 74, Rebel Harbor, that corner there, you're not going to cut across them right now. You know, there's just a lot of spots. So just if you stay in your river channel, right in the center of it, you're going to be good right now. Just don't try to sneak outside of it anywhere when we do thaw and that water's where it's at. There's a few others. You just kind of have to kind of really look at your maps, pay attention. Straight across from PB2, there's a long point there. That kind of, that little splitter there. That one's going to be it just appears like you can cut across it. You won't be able to. There's just a few. So just, really keep an eye on that. Also something to be maybe aware of is there's a lot of docks that, the lake froze. They froze them in tight, and then they dropped the water. And a lot of them docks are damaged. A lot of catwalks are damaged. There's a lot of things that are damaged out there. So maybe just a little bit of extra courtesy as you're running your boats and you're going to run into these coves or creeks. Maybe shut down and just kind of idle in real slow. Maybe try not to push out any big wakes that maybe going to further damage some of these docks. Obviously just everybody pretty much now has a disconnect at the ramp before you go onto the dock. It's a good idea before you go out on those, maybe to check things, just throw that breaker, throw that your disconnect. You just don't know what's going on, what's getting twisted, what wires are being pulled loose from the conduit. There's just some hazard that you just may not be expecting or aware of or know. So just kind of be aware of those things. Other than that, that's really all we got. Like I said, if we drop another foot or so, which they're kind of expecting, boy, I'd be real leery to put in any ramp right now without checking it. So we're going to keep you up to date. We'll try to maybe do something, say midweek. If we get 2, 3, 4 days of 50-degree weather, bright sunny, that's going to do a lot for the lake. I don't see it really opening it up, but it'll really get the process started. So probably midweek we'll bring you up to date of what's going on, how quick it's happening. I know a lot of guys are going to travel in for the Toyota Series and what to expect. So we're going to try to keep you up to date before you make that long trip and travel. So other than that, that's really all we got. We're going to stick around Crockett area. We're just kind of cooped up like everybody else. We're going to make jigs. Fingers are getting a little sore. I know Denise's are too, but we're trying to get ahead of the big push, because as soon as this ice does come off the water, everybody's going to be out fishing. I believe Table Rock's finally opened up this week. FAW, they had to make that tough call to call that tournament, which I don't think anyone would doubt. They made the correct decision there. I know all your tournament directors. They got a tough decision. They set up all these schedules sometimes a year in advance, and then we come up with these conditions like this. And believe me, they all want to run these tournaments. They want to have the tournaments. We all want to have the tournaments. There's just a lot of things that go into these tournaments that some people may not really think about, other than the water being open. You've got some of the resorts, some of those roads aren't open, some of the ramps aren't open, some of them haven't de-winterized their cottages or rooms just yet, so once they do that, then they have to keep the heat on. And if tournaments get canceled at the last second, then they're kind of messed up there. So sometimes some of the directors may cancel or make that call a little earlier in the week, leaving 4 or 5 days of if the conditions can improve, and we could have maybe had a tournament. Just keep in mind, if they make the decisions early, that allows people to make other plans, cancel rooms, maybe not take vacation days. There's just a lot of things that go on. Just a lot of courtesy for everybody. So just be patient with the tournament directors. They're going to do the very best they can to make the right decisions in a timely manner. So just keep that in mind before anyone throws out gripes or criticism or you know, it's 45 degrees today. We could have had that tournament. Well, maybe, but just look at all the other factors that go into that. You know, so other than that, I haven't heard of anyone fishing anywhere. I don't know. Chad Hoots has probably drilled a hole in there and probably catching a crappie or two off of his dock. I wouldn't doubt it. But other than that, there's just no fishing going on just yet. But like I said, we'll keep you up to date to what's going on. Maybe look for another video. Let's say Wednesday or maybe Thursday at the latest. We'll put up another video and tell you what kind of progress the lake's having and thawing. So until then, guys, be safe, and we'll see you.